So another video on air conditioning. I am going to deliver a lecture on that. Air conditioning means human comfort. Okay, air conditioning direct means human comfort. So the temperature requirement for Indian ambience, that is 25 degree temperature. Somewhere it is 26 degree also, no doubt. Then 50% RH. Then quality of air is very important. It should not be poor. For air conditioning, the quality of air is very important. Temperature and humidity, though it is important, but if the quality is poor, then it's of no use. Air is having dust particle, carbon dioxide level. If it is high, so what will happen? The concerned person will not feel happy, he will feel tiredness, he will feel uncomfortable. And if you go outside the ambience of that surrounding, and if outside temperature is even 40 degree, but he will feel fresh over there. Why? Because outside CO2 content is not to that extent, and of course air quality is better than the room air quality. Suppose it is a classroom, air conditioned classroom, then it is full with the students, okay? But after some times the level of carbon dioxide will increase like anything, so the person will start feeling uncomfortable. And if we immediately, suppose if they go outside immediately and temperature is very high, no doubt 40, 45 or like that, but they will feel fresh because CO2 content is not to that extent which was inside the room, okay? So besides, for human comfort, besides temperature and humidity, the quality of air also plays a very important role, okay? Now I will come tons of cooling. What do you mean by tons of cooling? There are two tons. One is TONNE, Tony, that is metric unit, and one is ton, TON, ton. That is also further divided into two parts, UK ton and US ton. So Tony, TONNE, that is 1000 kg in tons, 1000 kg, okay? And ton, 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 that is UK and US. UK it is 1016 kg, 1016 kg, and US 907.185 kg, okay? So this is the difference between the British ton, US ton and metric ton. Now this British ton is also in pounds, 2000 pounds, okay? 2000 pounds. So one TR will be in IP unit. IP means inch pound unit. That is followed by the UK and US. While we are following meter, centimeter, kg, this is metric system, okay? One mechanical engineer should be very much conversant with the units. That is very important. If he do not conversant with the unit, he will make a lot of mistake. He cannot design it. Now this 1 TR, if you take it in pound, then 2000 pound of ice or 2000 pound of water, that is 907.185 kg of water at 32 degree Fahrenheit converts into ice at 32 degree in 24 hours. 2000 pound of ice, 2000 pound of water at 32 degree Fahrenheit converts into 32 degree of ice in 24 hours. That gives 1 TR, 1 tons, okay? If you take it in metric unit, 1000 kg of water at 0 degree centigrade converts into ice at 0 degree centigrade in 24 hours, then also that is 1 TR, 1 ton in metric. Okay, so this is the difference between metric ton and IP unit, IP inch pound unit. Okay, inch pound unit is followed by the UK and US, and metric unit is followed by us. So nowadays in the books you will get both the units. You will find it IP unit also, inch pound unit, and you will find it metric unit also. Both unit you will find. Now this 1 TR, that is also equal to 12,000 BTU per hour. 12,000 BTU per hour, 1 TR in IP unit, or that is 211 kilojoule per minute. 211 kilojoule per minute. We normally take it for calculation purpose 210 kilojoule per minute, or 3.5 kilowatt. If you change it in kilowatt, 1 TR will be 3.5 kilowatt. Now volumetric flow rate, air flow rate inside the air conditioned space, inch pound unit, that is CFM, cubic feet per minute. That is called CFM, cubic feet per minute in inch pound unit. So 1 inch pound unit is equal to, in liters per minute, 28.317 liters per minute. 28.317 liters per minute, or 0.4795 liters per second if you change it into the per second. So we take 400 CFM ton of cooling, 400 CFM for normal flow rate of the air. For normal flow rate of the air, we take 400 CFM. Now 1 CFM is equal to how much? 1 CFM is equal to 1.7 meter cube per hour. Okay, 1 CFM is equal to 1.7 meter cube per hour. Now area, if it is given in square feet, suppose some area is given in square feet, how to convert it into meter square? Just you divide it by 10.764. Just you divide it by 10.764. So we can get the area in meter square. Now 1 mile is equal to how much? Kilometer. That is 1.67 kilometer. 1 mile is equal to 1.67 kilometer. Remember it. It is very important for design engineer. 1 gallon of UK, that is equal to 4.546 liter. 1 gallon of UK, 4.546 liter. And 1 gallon of US, 3.785 liter. You must remember all these units. As a design mechanical engineer for refrigeration air condition, we must be conversant with all the units, otherwise it will be of no use. In refrigeration system, we use COP is equal to refrigerating effect upon work done. COP is equal to refrigerating effect upon work done. Same formula is also used for the COP in air conditioning also. It is not different that air conditioning COP is different from the refrigeration, from the refrigeration. No, it is COP is same thing, but the COP of air conditioner is much more than the COP of the refrigeration. COP of air conditioner is much more than the COP of the refrigeration. Why? Because in refrigeration we go to the temperature of 0 degree and beyond that also. We go to the temperature of 0 degree and below that even. But in air conditioning, we always maintain the temperature 25-26 for human comfort. We are dealing with human comfort. So the temperature is more over here than refrigeration. So that's why the COP of air conditioner is more than the COP of the refrigeration system. Okay, next page. I have tried to show this refrigerating effect and refrigeration effect on pH diagram, if you can see. So what is there on pH diagram, if you can see? Then suppose refrigeration, okay, refrigeration, upper temperature is 40 degree centigrade, lower temperature suppose it is minus 20 degree centigrade, okay, lower temperature is minus 20 degree centigrade, and this is the compressor work. So but for air conditioning, the lower temperature, suppose it is 0 degree centigrade, it may be 20 degree centigrade, but it will be above that. It will be above that. So as per the curve which turns inward, you will find that in air conditioning, the evaporating, the cooling portion is more, cooling portion is higher, and moreover compressor work is less. Cooling portion is higher, compressor work is less. So COP is more in air conditioning than refrigeration. Is it clear? On pH diagram, again I am repeating, this is the curve of pH diagram. Now for refrigeration, suppose the lower temperature we goes to minus 20 degree centigrade and upper temperature 40 degree centigrade, condensation temperature 40 degree centigrade. So the refrigeration from minus 20 to 40 degree centigrade, and this is the compressor work. Now when we go for the air conditioning, then what happens? We are increasing the refrigeration work, we are increasing the cooling work, and simultaneously your compressor work is decreased. So you can say that when COP, compressor work is less, cooling effect is more, so COP will be more. That's why the COP of air conditioning is always greater than the COP of the refrigeration system. I think it is clear to everybody. Okay. Then energy efficiency ratio. What is that? Energy efficiency ratio. That is BTU per hour divided by work done. BTU per hour divided by work done. Now this BTU per hour is IP, inch pound unit. Work done is in SI unit. Okay, kilojoule or like that. So BTU per hour can be converted into joules per second. That is 1055 divided by 3600. Hour is second. 1055 joules, BTU to joules. So the factor will come 1055 divided by 3600. That will be equal to 0.293, 0.293. Now conversion of EER and COP. Conversion of EER and COP. You know that when you go to the market to buy a window AC or whatsoever, then he will always give you the EER. He will never tell you the COP, because the company which has supplied the air conditioner or whatsoever, fridge air conditioner or your split AC, window AC, whatsoever, that is COP of AC is 0.293 EER of AC. Okay, you can take it suppose 0.3 also, approximation. So if you want to know the COP of any air conditioner and EER is given by the shopkeeper, he will tell you the EER. Immediately you multiply it by 0.3 approximately and you will get the COP of the air conditioner. Suppose if the EER any air conditioner is 10.5, suppose it is just an example. If the EER of any air conditioner is your 10.5, then multiply it with 0.293 or 0.3 even, then we get 3.08. That is COP of air conditioner is 0.3 into 110.5, that is 3.08. Okay, we get the directly we get the COP of the air conditioner. Okay. Now in the market, when you go, then you will just listen about the 5-star, 4-star or 3-star AC. What is that? You must be very clear about that. What is that 4-star, 5-star or 3-star AC? 5-star AC, suppose it is a 5-star AC, then the COP of that AC, if it is 5-star AC, then the COP of that AC should be more than 3.5. If the COP is more than 3.5, then it is 5-star AC. 5-star AC cost is high, but running cost is low. Running cost is low. Cost is may be high, but running cost is low. Then comes 4-star AC. 4-star AC COP greater than 3.3, equal to or greater than 3.3, but less than 3.5, because 3.5 is 5-star. Then 3-star COP greater than 3.1, but less than 3.3. So these are the star system. Now normally the life of an air conditioner is taken as 15 years. Air conditioner life is normally taken as 15 years. Now air conditioner involve also movement of the air. Air velocity is also very important, because if the air is flowing with very fast velocity, the people sitting over there will feel very uncomfortable, and if it is very very low also, then also people will feel uncomfortable. So air velocity should be 0.1 to 0.3 meter per second. 0.1 to 0.3 meter per second. This is the recommended velocity. It should not be more than that or less than that. Then only comfort will come. Okay? Winter AC used as heat pump. Winter AC used as heat pump. That is COP of heat pump is equal to COP of air conditioner plus 1. Okay? Then take COP of refrigeration 3. COP of refrigeration 3. So 3 plus 1, 4. So COP of HP is your, COP of HP will be your 4. Okay. Now suppose if we want to heat a system, if we want to heat a room, suppose heater is required for a room. Okay. Then what will be there for the heater? If you require, suppose 1000 kilowatt, so 1000 watt, not kilowatt. So 1000 watt coil is required for heating a room. Now if we use heat pump, then in that case that 1000 watt is reduced and same heat is being driven. So why, how it is happening? 1000 watt divided by COP of HP, which we have taken 4, because COP of HP is equal to COP of air conditioner plus 1. So COP of air conditioner we have taken 3 suppose, so COP of HP will be 4. Now you divide it by 4, so we get 250 watt. Now you see, same amount of heat is being obtained using an heat pump with 250 watt. See, this is the difference. Same amount of heat is being provided by using a heat pump in place of 1000 watt of coil. And moreover, if you use a 1000 watt of coil, then your RH is also going to reduce. RH also reduces. So RH reduces, then you keep a wet cloth in the room where you are using 1000 watt heating coil. But if you use heat pump, then only 250 watt of heat pump will be required, and same amount of heat will be obtained. So it is advisable to use heat pump in place of heating coil. Now go for HP type of heating, then resistance heating. Okay. Now in cold air, that is summer, cold air should flow from the upper part of the body. When you are sitting in a car, suppose, then summer season is there, then cold air is being created in the car, air conditioner. So that should come from the upper part of the body. Then you will feel comfortable. It should come from the upper part of the body. And if it is winter season, then hot air is being created, and this hot air should come from the lower part of the body, लोअर पार्ट से, पैर से नीचे से हवा आनी चाहिए, गर्म हवा, तब कंफर्टेबल फील करते हैं। तो कोल्ड एयर जो है वो अपर पार्ट ऑफ द बॉडी से फ्लो करना चाहिए और हॉट एयर जो है लोअर पार्ट ऑफ द बॉडी से फ्लो करना चाहिए। ठीक है। नाउ application that is grasping power of individual increases। कंफर्ट एप्लीकेशन, अब कंफर्ट के लिए हम लोग एयर कंडीशनर को यूज़ करते हैं। ठीक है। घर में, होम, ऑफिस, होटल, हॉस्पिटल, इवन योर व्हीकल, कार में भी हम यूज़ करते हैं। सो वी आर यूजिंग फॉर द कंफर्ट पर्पज़। And another purpose of using air conditioning, that is industrial application. Industrial application also we are using air conditioning. So here industrial application, that is your laboratories, textile mills, then printing press, museum, library, like that we use for the industrial application. So we are using your air conditioning application for the comfort purpose of the human being, offices, home, hotel, hospitals, this for the comfort of the human being, and industrial application, laboratories, textile, even the computer manufacturing, electronic goods, there also we use industrial application where certain amount of temperature and humidity is required. Museum, libraries, etc. Okay. So in that way we use the comfort air conditioning. Now 100 CFM, I told you about 400 CFM is required for one ton. Na? 100 CFM, that is okay. 100 CFM, that is 47 liter per second. Approximation you can say 50 liter per second also we will do. It will do. We can take 50 liters per second. 100 CFM is equal to 50 liters per second. We can take it. So 1 CFM is equal to cubic feet per minute equal to 1.7 meter cube per hour. Now moist air. What is moist air? Because in air conditioning the property of moist air should be understood very properly. All the air in the atmosphere, they all contains water vapor. It contains dry air also, and it contains water vapor also. In case of dry air, what are the components? Nitrogen, then traces of CO2 and air, traces of CO2 and air, then oxygen. Okay. So they impart the pressure. Now water vapor, another part, partial pressure of water vapor 3 kilopascal, not in 100 kilopascal of air, around 3 kilopascal is the water vapor pressure, and remaining 97 kilopascal is your air. So according to Dalton's law of partial pressure, total pressure of the air or atmospheric air, that is the component of dry air plus water vapor. Okay. Dry air and water vapor, both these components contribute to the total pressure of the atmosphere. It depends that the partial pressure of water vapor, if it is saturated, suppose if it is saturated, then partial pressure of water vapor will increase. Saturated, if the air is saturated with water vapor, then moist will be formed. You will find that some moist rather I should say fog will be formed. So in that case the partial pressure of water vapor will increase. In that case partial pressure of water vapor will increase. So the total pressure even then also that will be the sum of the partial pressure of the air plus partial pressure of the water vapor. Both of them will contribute to the total pressure. Now what is psychrometry? Study of atmospheric air and its associated water vapor. Partial pressure of vapor if less than 10 kilopascal, we take it as a gas. When the partial pressure of water vapor, now you see air contains dry air and water vapor. Okay. Now we have considered water vapor pressure around 3 kilopascal. Okay. 97 kilopascal is your dry air. But if there is fog, etc., then the water vapor pressure will be, you can say, maximum 10 kilopascal. Up to 10 kilopascal, we treat the air as an ideal gas. Ideal gas means that is, it is following PV is equal to MRT. PV is equal to MRT is applicable, or temperature is greater than 2 times the critical temperature. Temperature of the air is greater than 2 times of critical temperature. Now in psychrometry, we go for the dry bulb temperature, wet bulb temperature and wet bulb depression, these 3 things. So if a thermometer is there, you must have heard about the sling psychrometer. Sling psychrometer having 2 thermometers. One is an ordinary thermometer and another is the thermometer having the wick, wet wick mounted in the bulb, outside the bulb. Now if we rotate the sling psychrometer with certain speed, then the thermometer, only thermometer that will give the temperature of the dry bulb temperature, DBT, that is called DBT. Okay. And another thermometer which is of which the bulb is wrapped with wet cloth, then because of the evaporation of the water, the temperature of the thermometer will come down. Okay. The temperature will come down. Evaporation of the water will take place, temperature will come down, and that will be wet bulb temperature. Now the difference between the dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature, that gives wet bulb depression. That gives wet bulb depression. Okay. So suppose dry bulb temperature is 28, wet bulb temperature is 8 degree, then dew point, then your DBT, the wet bulb depression will be 17 degree. DBT minus WBT, if it is 0, then relative humidity is 100%. If DBT minus WBT, it means both the temperature are same. When they will be same? When there is 100% saturation of the water vapor in the air. In that case, the air will be saturated with the water vapor, and this RH will be 100%. RH will be 100%. Now 17 degree, I have told you earlier, DBT minus WBT, that gives WBT, wet bulb depression, and that is 17 degree air, 17, here air is dry, 17 is air is dry. Then sling type hygrometer या psychrometer, DPT, dew point temperature. What is that dew point temperature? That is DBT, dry bulb temperature, minus DPT. Minus DPT gives dew point depression. Dew point depression, DPD, dew point depression. Air at 24 degrees centigrade, 2.986 kilopascal pressure, 20 degree, 2.339 kilopascal, that is Pressure is reducing means some amount of water vapor is getting condensed. Pressure is reducing of the air. It means some water vapor is getting condensed. So that's all. Thank you for listening to me. Okay.